down. Need to see a big game out of him on this map, especially, which is, his map.
Rest of Liquid have got to match Simple's aggression on this map if they want to take it to Faze.
Okay, thank you very much, gentlemen. As you can see, folks at home, the map fly-through is starting. That means we are done jib-jabbing, and we're going to turn it over to the #1 casting duo on the planet. I hope they didn't hear me say that. Anders and Semler, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Sir Scoots. And yes, we are ready here. It's going to be a great game between Faze and Team Liquid. Semler, I'm ready. Are you ready as well?
Oh, yes, Anders. I couldn't even sleep last night. Some would blame the jet lag, the excuse game, right? But it was just like up early before my alarm went off. Like, this is the day we've all been waiting for months now, the major, and it's happening here in North America, man. 2 fantastic games already have been played, and now we get into the 3rd one here. And this feels to me like more of a 50-50 match. Like, it could just keep being close games all day long here.
I mean, for a best of one, there definitely are some players that could be pivotal here, and I'm thinking about Simple and maybe Hiko as well there. It's going to be very exciting. I think Nitro and Elige are definitely not to be left out either, but in a best of one, I want to see some big clutches coming up. Already, we've got a bit of a push going in towards the A-bomb side, and we've got Rain hiding in the corner, looking for a headshot. Nitro going to die him. Michael in a world of trouble in the back lines here, going to be going down to Hiko, and it's versus 5, not the best start for Faze.
No, this retake is going to be a bit tricky, but AZ gets that fadeaway shot onto Hiko. He knows that somebody's in A main as well. He just saw that grenade go through, so there's some info for Faze to work with here. They can assume somebody's playing quad as well. You can see Fox trying to hold that angle, but there's Simple. He was lying in wait in mid. He's there to spring the trap, and that draws the attention to himself long enough for his teammates to step in, and they're so hype, Anders, they're even killing each other. Dren, he takes out Nitro. Dren, you're supposed to kill Faze.
I mean, it is definitely a contribution of sorts, but maybe not what they were looking for. Still, the round was pretty much won at that point in time, so not really that significant. Liquid off to a really good start. Now, we did see when NIP were playing this map that just because you have a good terrorist side, you can't just be comfortable. And it's not just NIP. A bunch of teams, Astralis is another good example of have really good T sides on this map, and the CT side ends up being a bit of a problem. So we'll see. It's still early days, and there is a scout in play, and even some armor and pistols being upgraded on the Faze side. So don't want to rule them out quite yet. But 2 AKs in response from Liquid. So a little bit of respect here, just not going all-out SMG.
Yeah. I mean, they have a couple of the rifles for the long-range duels. That's what they're looking for. They've at least, at the beginning, taking up positions that are fairly passive on Team Liquid's side, waiting to see if Faze are going to get aggressive anywhere on the map right now with this force buy. So Liquid really taking their time, feeling things out, making sure that Faze haven't laid a trap for them, and then they're going to start rolling into what they had planned from the beginning. And so far, it looks like it might be, action A, because that bomb and everybody from Liquid, they're heading to that bomb site.
Rain up close, and this is a dangerous position with that C-set 75 now. He shouldn't be able to get more than 1 kill if they rush him down, but if they're slow, he might be able to. Looking for a bit more, down to 12 health is Nitro, and Rain making it back now. Michael Lily coming with the Deagle. If he could have found Rain or Nitro, that would have been great, but instead it's Hiko taking 1 more down, and AC with the scout in play, dropping Nitro. He was low already, so a 2-on-3 now. AC and Jacob trying to stay alive, and AC actually finding that shot. Hiko is just a scout away from death as well, but Simple going to be helping out, and it should still be there around.
Look at how fast he is with the scope as well. He's just running all over the place. No! Go back to the scout. He has to know that Hiko's low, that he tagged up 1 man behind quad. He has that information to go off of. Now it's a matter of finding Simple and trying to catch him out of position. But Simple, he's got full HP. He's got that AK. He's even boosted up. So they have the info as to where AZ's coming from now, Team Liquid. All they have to do is sit and wait, try and force him to make the move, force him to walk into him. And there we go. Simple playing patiently behind quad. AZ just walks right into his crosshair. But it looks like we already have a pause coming in here, Anders. So a little bit of time here for Faze to soak things up.
Yeah, can't possibly be a tactical timeout. It has got to be a technical thing.
Yeah.
Right, so well played from Liquid at the end. You could see that there was even a little bit of paranoia there on AC. He wasn't quite sure that they could both be in the back line. He was worried that one of them had snuck out. And just trying to keep Hiko away from that Mac 10, so definitely a good idea. Still, it was an expensive round for the terrorist side here. They end up losing 3 players. And FaZe are going to be happy about that.
What they do succeed in doing, though, is at least they hold on to the AKs, right? So that's like the expensive part is the fact that they lost the 3 SMGs, they lost the Kevlar that came with that, but still you're talking about like a couple grand that's getting invested rather than the 2.7K that an AK costs plus the Kevlar on top. That's where it gets really expensive. So Liquid, at least keeping the 2 guys alive, they actually succeeded in kind of like pulling off a small victory. Just like, okay, we lost the round, or well, actually no, we won the round, obviously. But we didn't lose everything. We didn't lose the expensive bits.
No, I mean, that you sort of almost buy the SMGs, so you have a couple of people you can throw away. And I'm glad that it was the SMGs making the entry as well. You know, it's worse if it's an AK going down. Rain getting that first kill with the C-set. If he gets the kill and it's on an AK player and it falls into the hands of Rain, suddenly things spiral out of control. So, pretty good job.
I mean, Thorn did a real good job of pointing out, some of the weaknesses right now that are coming up with FaZe, and that's like in the individual play. For a team that really heavily relies on individual play to carry them through matches, when you have two players who are struggling like Michael and AZ right now, it's going to tell in the gameplay. In that last round right there, you could see that Michael, I think he's feeling a little bit of the pressure trying to make the plays happen because he tried to rush through that smoke at Forklift rather than just sit and wait and say, okay, there's a smoke there. You have to come through that smoke. I'm just going to sit here and wait for you to come to me. Instead, he tries to go charging through and goes for the hero play. That's the kind of stuff that can actually draw FaZe out a little bit and actually cause them to make some mistakes that might cost them rounds.
Just to follow up on that, I would even say that specifically when it comes to Michael, actually that's probably been like a part of his problem his whole career, because almost every team he's been in, he has had to be the guy to do that, because he's had to be the guy making the big plays. It's only been in NIP and in FaZe here that he's had like good enough teammates to really support him, so he has to sort of get rid, I think, of some of those habits and maybe play a little bit more with some trust in his teammates. Now, it's another round here, pistols for the FaZe clan, and they don't have armor this time. Got to see if they could still do a little bit of damage. It would be a good follow-up if they can get another 2 or 3 kills in a round like this. If they don't, that sort of offsets what they just did in the previous round against Liquid, so they still got to keep up the pressure here.
And they need to hope that they get killed by the AKs. There's still a couple of SMGs in play right now, and they do not want Nitro or Leech building an economy. Getting that bonus SMG money, that would not be good as far as FaZe are concerned. So Rain, he's kind of all by his lonesome over here on the A site. Michael is rotating over to Car, though, but it's still like a semi-stack happening over on that B site. 3 players just sitting and waiting. AZ, Fox, and Jacob. They're just crossing their fingers, hoping that Team Liquid are going to come and say hi. But Team Liquid, they haven't shown any interest in the B site yet. They're still going to A. Nitro starts things off, and Nitro with the second kill as well.
I mean, when you're allowed to walk up as far up highway as they just were, that automatically means you kind of know you're safe in attacking that A bombs. Like, even if they have a stack going on, they're going to be in such a bad position. Dude. Nitro cleaning up here with the SMG with a double kill for the MAC-10, and it's going to be a Leech to finish it. So a lot of kills here. That's actually a quad kill with for Nitro. That's a lot of money in his pockets. In fact, going into the next round, he's got $6,250 at the beginning of it. It's very impressive. So that leaves us now with a 3-0 scoreline favoring Team Liquid on the terrorist side here. And going into the 4th round, we're going to see the one AWP picked up on Fox. And I am glad it's Fox AWPing. I definitely prefer that right now.
Well, it's kind of like he has to be the one. There was that period of time, right, where everybody was getting a crack at it. Michael was AWPing, and it's really you kind of just have to give it back to Fox because he is a bit of a specialist in that respect. So CT side now, he's got Kevlar at least. So if he does get in a bit of a tight spot, he'll have something to work with, as in he could take a couple of shots. But he decides to play aggressive, get up in there and be hauls. Only problem is nobody there to be found. Team Liquid once again, they're setting up for that A play.
Smoke right now helping Michael, but actually they're going to come running right through it. He gets both in the last bullet. That's incredible. Leash and Nitro going to be going down. What a hold coming out of Michael here. And Adren trying to see if he can isolate him in the corner. It's going to be simple to pick up that kill from right behind Hiko with a headshot on AC, and that brings it back into a 3-on-3. Great comeback into the round here for Team Liquid in spite of them being down 2 men early on. Hiko going for the default plant, which means Simple's position is less effective now in main. If it comes to an after plant, if it comes to a defuse, that's going to be dangerous. Great shot from Rain, takes down 1. He's baiting Simple for the shot and not being successfully. A 2-on-3.
Whoa, sick flick, and that opens it up. Hiko's going to peek out and take out Fox. That's starting things off now. The crossfire has been established, but Hiko's taking care of work all on his own. He's going to get all 3. Simple, he's the perfect bait. He allows Hiko to just step out there, catch out Fox to start, and then just clean up the rest of FaZe as they try and make their way onto that site.
Really, really good teamwork, and they were alone against AZ earlier on, so they're a nice little duo here within the team. But you have to wonder what happens in that situation if Hiko goes down. Then Simple has to try and sort of get back in behind the box while they're defusing, and you actually have almost, if they have a kit and they tap that defuse, you have to run with your knife out to get there. If you just sort of wait a little bit and see, it's going to be too late. You have to instantly go for it. Or you could wallbang, but no one's ever tried that yet. But it's possible, especially with the AWP now. We're back to pistols here for FaZe. It's a terrific start right now for the North American team.
Yeah, they've taken off in a fine style. And this is really what the discussion was turning around at the beginning of this. It felt like a 50-50 match between both of these teams, that they'd be very even. But then the other opinion was that, either it's going to be FaZe that crush or it's going to be Liquid that crush. It could go either way, but the team that gets the strong start could just run away with the map. So Liquid, they're off to that perfect start right now. They should be set up to get 5 rounds, which on this map in particular, it's an excellent start, really. It gives them a lot of room to move with going in through the rest of this half.
See, Michael is actually close here with the C-set. He's going to get the 1 kill in, and Rain on the other side. That almost was a double. So it's back into a 2-on-3. Still not quite making it out of this round yet, Liquid. They need to do a bit more. Fox actually hiding in the smoke, trying to see if he can make his way through. I think a little bit too slow at the end there. And Adren is going to be picking him up, so Jacob all alone. And not much that he could do in a round like this. He ends up dropping. My thinking was really that it was either going to be Faze crushing or it was going to be a close game with Faze sort of just edging it out. I didn't see many chances for Liquid to just sort of crush it, but that kind of is what they're doing right now. I'm impressed.
I mean, look at that. Even Hiko's got a grin on his face right now. He's feeling good. He's feeling it. But
There's something special about that Hiko grin, by the way.
oh yeah, dude. And he gets that head nod going too.
Yeah.
You know? Well, we'll see. We'll see if we get a chance. Camera guys are going to have to be quick. But wow, not wasting any time at all. We're going to get right into it. So it is going to be the full buy, obviously, here for Faze. 6th round. They ate another round of eco, and now they have all the money. And this time around, it's going to be Fox. He's got the Kevlar helmet combo. He's got a smoke as well. So a little bit of utility to go along with that AWP. But now we need to see. It's going to start. We're going to start seeing that mind game come into play here between both in-game leaders, because Liquid have only gone towards the A site so far in this first half. And so Faze, they're going to be wondering, okay, when are they going to finally break the pattern and decide to go towards B? Nice opening here, and it takes him a while. Michael nearly fluffs the spray there, but he gets the job done in the end, and that's 2 entry kills now for Faze.
Yeah, you see how awfully that could have gone if he just spent another second there. It's exactly the same sort of pop flash that GetRight was doing with his teammates over at Squeak Door. So definitely not a bad idea. Elige going to be going down. That's AZ and Rain, and AC to follow it up. So 5-1. Finally, Faze coming in with a reply, and they need to continue for quite a while here. Liquid, they're going to have enough money, and they have 2 people with a pretty big bank. So at least another round in consecutive round here before they can force any kind of an eco. And we'll see how that's going to work out.
And
I'm still curious because I think in an old battle between Simple and Fox, you're going to have to give it to Simple, aren't you?
Oh yeah, no, you have to. I mean, Simple, he's that kind of all-around player. He's incredible with the pistols, with the rifles, with the AWP. I mean, he's kind of just your do-it-all Wolfmeister style player who who can fill any role. But the problem is that Fox, he really needs to be on his game. As we can see, he's already got legs here in that fight, that straight-up duel that happens towards A main, and Fox just not able to pull the trigger fast enough. Simple, he's going to be feeling good about that. It's a strong start in the round.
It's kind of mad that Fox even stuck around after he got legged the first time. He should have kept jumping up on that barrel. That's a bit dangerous. I'm also looking for Jacob right now. I don't think he's killed anyone yet. I think it's actually 0-5 at the moment, so need to see a bit more out of him. And I think once him and Fox sort of get into this game and actually start showing themselves, it could be a very different result. So this sort of current trend of Liquid doing very well, it could change with just a couple of players stepping up their level. Michael surfing up on that woodboard there and almost getting killed for it.
But you can already see how Liquid are adapting their play here to what they've seen from Faze so far. That last round where they just got picked off one after another, they had started out with defaults, and they've started out with fairly aggressive ones. This time around, however, they went for the default, but they held back pretty far. Entrance to A main in case a flash came through. Hiko holding all the way back at the end of Squeak. And over in B halls, Adren, he finally gets caught by Fox, but he started off with a passive position. They were waiting to see if they could catch Faze out in an awkward spot, but instead it's going to be that straight A commit once again. And this time around, the defense is holding. Rain and Michael doing massive work.
Hiko going to be going down, and AC stealing that last kill. Now, you've got to notice at this point, and I think especially if you're Liquid, you have to be paying attention to how effective Rain is at that forklift every single time. Even with the C set, he consistently gets at least 1 kill, and that could buy enough time. We're talking about time that you're spending on the CT side, rotating more players in. This time, Michael was bought some space to work with in the back line of the A-bomb site. So they got to figure out a different sort of attack point where maybe they try and get some people up highway so that Rain's attention is split between main, Squeak, and highway, or they have to use grenades to get him out of there. But they can't just ignore Rain anymore.
Well, this is interesting. They're finally going to go towards that B site, Liquid, but they decided to do it on an eco, and they're Simple with the dig. He hits Fox to start. Jacob with the double spray, making a triple. Simple's helping him out as well. Jacob just can't be stopped. Finally, Adren will lay him low, but the damage is done. Huge spray from Jacob to start things off.
Oh, that was a nice tap from Adren, who's actually got some decent kills in the last couple of rounds here. Still a 1-on-2, but if ever there was a time for Jacob to wake up, that definitely is. But Adren coming into it, getting 1 more kill, now a triple. 1 more for the quad, and the huge upset round here. If Liquid win this, it's going to be a big step forward to taking this map away from Faze. And Michael, he's a bit weary right now. There's so much time, this is the problem. If Adren walks away, then it's just a guessing game from Michael point of view.
There's so many mind games, because he can still wrap around through mid if he wants, get through vents, try and come back onto that B site. He's waiting to see if Michael is thinking the same thing right now. This is all about, who's going to take that first step, who's going to be able to outthink their opponent. And Adren right now, he's trying to check in mid to make sure that Michael wasn't trying to go for a fast one, try to rotate around through. And now this opens it up. This opens it up here for Adren to actually make it towards that A site.
See, the question is, all right, so Adren is going to he's going to stick with his gut here and his intuition and just go for it. When you spend this long making a rotation, you could definitely end up sort of second-guessing yourself and thinking, wait a minute, maybe he already knows that I'm doing this and I'll have to try something else. But great call right now for Adren. I've got to say it's a triple kill. It's going to be a bomb plant as well. He plants out in the open. How did he plant far enough out in the open that Michael Lily can't stay covered? I'm wondering. It doesn't look like it's all the way in the corner, which just scares me a little bit here. Yeah. But he does also have a Molotov, and Michael has a kit, so you've got to think about the timing here. If Michael Lily starts defusing, then Adren can't just count on the Molotov. He has to go and shoot him as well, otherwise there won't be enough time, or there will be enough time for the defuse anyway. Michael trying to see if he can get in. He's got no grenades, and it is all the way in the corner, so yeah, this is just an open plant. Michael taps it once. Adren going to go for the peek once, and he sees that it's not being defused anymore. He goes down, a quad kill and a clutch. Adren with a massive round here for Team Liquid.
What a huge round. That's incredible, and it's Adren as well, a player who's taken so much flack coming into this tournament, or in recent time over the past few months. It's just, he's been the butt of every joke.
Yeah, it's upsetting. Who are we going to make fun of now?
I know, right? If he starts stepping up and winning clutches, getting quad kills and rounds.
Yeah.
I mean, well, I'm sure that Thorin, he's quick on his feet. He'll come up with something.
Oh, definitely. That's what we pay him the money for, isn't it?
That's sick. Skrilla.
6-2 right now being the scoreline. We're in the 9th round of the first half here. Obviously a best-of-1 game, and Liquid with a really, really big win here, 6-2, and AC being traded out for Elige very early on in the round. Mid-controls being lost by Faze Clan, and right now Liquid have so much time to just spend, figuring out what the setup is for Faze. They can just spend time seeing what the current of defense looks like.
Well, they're starting to actually rotate through their plays now, Liquid, because they really haven't given too much attention to mid so far. Apart from the one round with Simple, sneaking up on that pistol into mid, we haven't really seen too much action here. So now this is starting to show Faze that Liquid have a variety of plays that they can throw out. It's not just going to be bomb site focused kind of play where Faze can cheat a little bit and keep like 3 players on one side, 2 on the other, and not really focus too much on mid. If Liquid start showing that they're capable of using mid in their repertoire of plays, Faze are going to have to start changing up, and that's not going to look too hot for them considering, they've been struggling a little bit so far with just holding onto the sites themselves. Add another element into the mix, and they might start struggling quite a bit.
And that mid control gives some really, really good opportunities for attacking B, which I think is what they're trying to do right now. Fox and Jacob are here, so if Fox can get an early AWP kill, that's going to be helpful. There's a flash in. He does leg Simple, but not enough to actually bring him down low. It's just 64 health left, and now they're both on the bomb side, and I don't like this setup, especially if there's Molotovs coming in. I think Simple's just got one. They're going to be running into the bomb side. Jacob now in a really bad position. Fox in the corner. Quick trade going in, and Fox, he's going to get the first shot on Hiko, but he has to do more than that. He's going to go down to Adren, and it's a 2-on-2 with 15 seconds.
And he decides to re-peek. That's the issue. If he could have just stayed alive a little bit longer, the smokes might have worn out, and Rain might have been able to have an impact. Instead, Rain is getting naded into the Stone Age right now. And it will be a 2-on-2 after plant scenario here for Faze. Coming through the vents, Michael, must-win duel for him, but Adren, he's playing it wisely. He's not gonna lose that fight. However, he does lose his teammate Simple on the site, and the bomb is not planted for him. Rain decides to stick it. He's got the kit, and he's got the flash as well. He's actually gonna go for it, decides to take the fight. And Adren, he is going to be able to come through once again for his team. Another 1v1 clutch coming through.
Wow, I think Rain was questioning his own health pool. He was worried that he was too low and that one bullet sort of going to the edge of the box would maybe kill him. Otherwise, we could tell from that point of view, he could have probably held that down and he would have won the round. So the sort of decision, it was a nice idea with the flashbang, but obviously from where we were sitting, it looked like he could have been able to straight defuse that. And it's Adren again coming up with a round. I mean, this is massive. He's 10-1-4 right now. He's top fragging in this game. I mean, even if you thought that Liquid was going to be sort of heading this game early on, you didn't think it was going to be Adren to do it. So very, very fun and impressive right now. Nitro opening up the middle in a round that's, again, down to pistol. The 3rd round here after the pistol, where FaZe have only got pistols. So
they just can't get their feet under them. Feels like they've only had a single round where it was like a full buy, all the nades, all the gear to go with it. Instead, it's just Nitro getting an anti-eco ace. Easy peasy.
Why not?
Why not? The Cobra is here. But 8 rounds on the board here for Team Liquid now. I mean, this is already looking very good for them. You expect them, we expect it to be a little bit closer to the finish line before you start, cracking that 8-round mark on the T side. But now, I mean, this is anything past this is just gravy on top. All of the pressure is now on FaZe to come up with a solution here. And Team Liquid continue to show a presence in mid, and this is just going to keep throwing Faze for a loop. Now we have to see what kind of defense our Faze going to set up. And it looks like their answer to this is to put 2 guys into mid early, straight up through connector, and straight aggressive as well. Rain just charging up.
But they could end up going for the counter boost. Definitely a very popular idea, and it seems like at least Rain is in the position for it. You got to wonder if AZ is going to be called in to try and follow up on that. If you do it at the right time, and it is a bit of a gamble, it can work out very well. Adren up on the box, and he's trying to counter anyone walking through the smoke, which you'll see teams like Virtus Pro do quite a bit, just trying to sneak in through that smoke in the middle there. Still more than a minute left on the clock here.
And no reason for Liquid to rush anything. They still have quite, because they have so much time, they can wait and see. They can't afford to sit back, wait and see if the boost is going to come through, as we can see. That's Elige holding all the way back there in T-spawn by the truck, waiting to see if Rain is going to peek his head over there. Unfortunately for him, not going to happen. Instead, action might be happening between Simple and Adren. AZ should be setting up for his teammate. Question is whether he actually goes for that shoulder peek or not to confirm. But there it is. Good coordination coming in here from Faze. They both peek at the same time, Rain and AZ. And now, well, this is going to buy even more time because Liquid have to worry about somebody being close pushed.
And Rain actually winning that fight. He's down to 4 health. I mean, once you're in the corner and they know you're there and Simple saw him the first time, that's not a very good position any longer. So, huge play coming out of Rain here with that double kill. Mikelele inside the A-bomb site. He's going to get shot down by Hiko, but AZ is there. And actually, Elige is going to be getting Hiko getting a team kill on Elige. AZ going down, but he did the damage to help out. Rain coming in. He gets 1 more kill for the quad with 4 health left. He's going to be winning the round for them and plenty of time for the defuse, obviously. What a godlike round here for the Norwegian player.
Yeah, he really is the Iceman. He is so, I mean, this is what's even more impressive when Adren gets these clutches. The last one was versus Rain. He's like he is the man, if you want to count on like some kind of individual performance, you look to him on Faze. He always comes through in the clutch. He always seems to deliver. And there, once again, when his team needed him, up close, takes the fights, wins them, and then obviously with the double spray. Simple looks like he was caught switching to his Tech 9. Kind of wondering there, why he wasn't even in position to cover Hiko as Hiko was going for the plant.
Yeah.
But it looks like, the timing just worked out impeccable there for Rain to come through and actually save the day.
So, 12th round is coming up, and Faze, they will have enough money to make a buy happen here. But things are starting to get very, very tricky. They have a couple of Molotovs as well, but it's not like it's not full grenades early on here. This is a bit of a shame. And again, they've got a bit more attention towards middle here for Faze. That's a great grenade raining in, landing on Mikelele, and he goes down. Hiko with 1 more opening shot. He's been very good at that so far.
Yeah, and I think that's off of the nade. They heard the nade hit him.
Oh god, that was through the door as well. That escaped me the first time we were looking at the other angle. You could see he spam that door, so Michael actually must have walked right into it. Well, that's just unfortunate.
This is looking like another A execute coming out here from Liquid. Minute left. Hiko setting up with the nades. He's still drawing attention to himself. The rotation is coming over here. So Faze, they're willing to gamble. They're willing to say, okay, you guys have played A so many times. We will actually, go ahead and commit an extra man over here. They rotate Fox back into mid, back into Link, so that they have at least a little bit of mid control to stop that split from coming through. But it's not going to happen for Rain this time. And Simple with the kill onto AZ as well. Both Rain and AZ down. And that A site just wide open. What a shot from Simple as well, catching out Fox at truck.
And we were talking about the timeouts earlier on. You got to wonder when Faze are going to feel like it's worth it for them to try and figure out what's going on here. They're not playing super proactively either. We're not seeing many flashbangs into A main. Not seeing many sort of squeak door pushes, or even we were talking about a double boost in middle. They didn't do that, but they sort of had the setup for it. Even on the B bomb side, you could try and do it. But Faze right now, they're playing maybe too passive and giving too much of the momentum here to Liquid.
This is just going to keep being the same theme, though, Anders. Like, their money is just completely wrecked on Faze's side. They just, and if you bring up the scoreboard, right, you just see it. It's a long round of long chain of rounds for the T side, couple rounds for Faze, but then that's not enough for them to build a bank. Team Liquid come right back into them, get those 3 rounds, and you guys will see it again right here. Faze win 1 round, and then they get hard reset again. They just cannot get any kind of momentum going for themselves here on this CT side. And this is how you shut it down. This is how you get big T side rounds, is when you control your opponent's money. You don't allow them to get kits, nades, or the big op guns consistently.
Now, just another thing to point out during that A push that Liquid just did, if you sort of go back and rewatch the minimap actually during that push, you see Adren is all the time looking behind them. So they are actually keenly aware that one of these counter boosts could be coming up, and that's a big problem for obviously for Faze, because they need Liquid to at least start feeling sort of very confident so that they make some mistakes like that. But you could tell that if they if they'd gone for a bit of a counter boost, then that Adren would have been ready for them.
Yeah, that's really showing that Liquid right now, they're on point with their game, and they're hitting a level that I don't think a lot of us were expecting to see. I mean, I was definitely expecting Faze, to be hitting more shots and making this a closer match, or for Faze to be the ones in the lead right now, and for Liquid to be the underdogs in the match, trying to, find some kind of scrappy win. Instead, it's just Liquid steamrolling Faze. And what with all of the, with Faze kind of expressing some doubt in their own game, their own level recently, saying, like if it weren't for Robon, this team would have fallen apart. I believe that was AZ who said that not too long ago. Sure, they've been boot camping, but it still feels like there's a lot of work to be done here to get the confidence rolling for these guys.
Yeah, something has definitely gone missing a little bit. You can see Rain is like the Norwegian Nico at this point. It's just, every game is just Rain doing really, really cool stuff and a very intelligent player.
But how is this? Look at this, like Fox and Jacob. I mean, Fox okay, but Jacob is usually consistently at the top with Rain. Like
exactly,
he's their anchor most of the time. And I don't mean that he's dragging them down. I mean that he's keeping them fixed.
No, but I mean that's how this team usually works out. Usually they have at least 3 out of 5 players playing really well. And right now they have Rain, and then sure AC and the rest are sort of they're helping out, but they need more. They need a lot more right now, and it is sort of getting to the point where it's almost too late. I think at 10-5, if you get 5 rounds on the CT side, you can still have a game on this map. But if we clock past 5, if this turns into 11-4 or 12-3 or something like that, I think it's too far gone.
Yeah, that's where it gets monstrous. That's where it really starts to get difficult for Faze.
Yeah.
And I mean, Faze, T side, all the pressure is going to fall on Robon. The man who's calling behind them. They have that similar setup as to Nip, for example. The 6-man calling, the coach standing behind. He's the one calling the shots. Robon, similar situation there, but that T side cash is going to be tough, especially once Liquid are fired up and ready to go and have had a fantastic first half. So I'm done with the pause now, done with the timeout. They've had a bit of time to try and slow down Team Liquid's momentum a little bit, try and break their stride. But Faze, their gamble here is just, okay, you guys have literally gone pretty much every round apart from like one or two. We're just going to go ahead and stack A and just wait for you at this point. We'll go ahead with the pistols. We'll just wait for you to show up.
And that's a very reasonable plan. The problem is if Liquid realize they sort of already have mid control and they sent someone scouting like they did earlier, and they're going to realize what's going on anyway. But looks like they're actually neglecting to do that. They might be walking in here. 3 men stacked by the forklift. This is pretty big coming out of Faze, and maybe it's exactly what they need. Are they going to go for a pop flash in? Michael is setting one up. Fox is right on the corner. He could be going for it here, but it's going to be too late, and Fox going down. The pop flash happens, but there's nobody to follow it up. AZ gets a headshot, but it's just too late. They were just a couple of seconds off of that timing. Jacob, though, with the AK picking up one. He's going to be going down to Liege.
That's the brutal thing for AZ there. He chooses to commit, but once that flash goes off and you're more than like half a second late, you just got to back off because that flash is going to be wearing off. These guys are way too quick. They can turn in time. They might not be full flashed, and you're just feeding yourself to the hounds. I mean,
Fox was the one who was supposed to capitalize on that flash, but he died beforehand. So it's all or nothing at this point, I think. 3-10. They only have essentially 2 rounds to salvage this game. Otherwise, I don't know how they can make it back.
I'm curious myself. They haven't had a lot of feel-good moments here, Faze, that's for sure. So it's just straight rifles, but just a handful of nades to work with here. No HEs, no incendiaries, not even a kit to speak of. So this is all about going aggressive, and Fox chooses to do just that, but Nitro's there to back up his teammate. Nitro will survive, and he finds that headshot.
I'm wondering, if Fox was expecting to take a fight, which it sort of looked like he was, then why wasn't Jacob flashing him into that angle, He was right behind him with a couple of flashbangs, and if they wanted to push, then, I don't know, there was a sort of a disjointed operation coming out of Faze there.
That's where you have to question the communication.
Yeah.
They're actually, saying, I do have the nades, I have the support for you here. Let's try and, team up. Or is it Fox, even asking? Because Fox could ask for the flash. You can say, hey, flash me in, or do you have a flash for me? These sorts of elementary phrases that you hear, bandied about quite a bit in CSGO. Maybe it just didn't quite happen this time for them. But what is going to happen, Anders?
Is it really another A push?
Yeah.
Well, it's been working so far, so you can't really blame Liquid for just continuing on this path. It is right now 3-on-5, and it's Rain in the middle, going to be up the 1 kill there on Adren, but the bomb will be going down, and Liquid right now have got to wonder, Faze got to wonder, are we going to try and throw away these rifles to potentially sort of get a 4th round, it's a really big risk to try and take it. They need quick kills, and they are dropping Simple very low. He's up there jumping to shoot him, and he's looking for the kill, but he can't get it. AC will take him out, and it's going to be a 3-on-3.
Now Simple is really trusting in his teammates to get the job done here. The bomb is planted for A main, so Nitro doesn't even need that. However, he's going to be able to pick off Rain instantly. AZ will take out AZ. Well, yeah, AZ will take out AZ. I believe Nitro took out AZ in the end, but
yeah, for a triple kill in total as well. So there we go, 11-3. And right now things have got to be really weird on the Faze side. If we could listen into the communication, you've got to expect that there is
there isn't a lot of talking going on.
No, there's a lot of silence, obviously. And that is what happens when the communication breaks down, and it's one of the big problems, and something where that's where you want the coach to come in and say, you know, get back in this game right now.
I'm really not seeing a lot of conversation going on at all right now. You have to wonder if you know, you don't speak of giving up, but they must be feeling an enormous amount of pressure at this point. And Rain decides again to try and take matters into his own hands. He does find 1 kill on Elige, but then the aggressive push coming out here from Fox actually pays off this time. B Halls, they just go charging straight into Garage and actually catch a man out. So they have a man advantage in this situation phase. And they actually pull it off, though. Nitro straight up short is going to find Michael, and Nitro, he's just completely unleashed. Another kill for him.
For Team Liquid, Faze is one of those teams in this group that they would need to sort of defeat to make it through. And right now, they're just moments away from doing that. This is be a really big accomplishment for the North American team. And I think this is suddenly, I think it's gonna spark a lot of hope for all of our American viewership. Fox and Jacob left here. 2 versus 3, and they're going to try for the retake. Obviously, they have to at the 15th round. Fox going to try and spray it down, but Adren comes in, gets the kill. Nitro with the triple at the end, and he got to finish the round. It's going to be 12-3 for the first half. Liquid playing the terrorist side of Cash and coming out with an absolute upset.
Yeah, Nitro just going ham on the map. 19 kills for him, 5 assists. It felt like he was just everywhere so far this first half. But it's him, you know, sitting at the top with 19, but then still double digits for Adren and Hiko. Elige and Simple just below 10. I mean, I think what could be surprising for a lot of people actually tuning in right now is that Simple, you know, he's not the one leading the charge. He's not the one up there just going ham. Instead, it's basically been his teammates who have been getting all the kills, and there's nothing left for him. This guy just running around like, guys, where are my frags? Where are my stats at?
Yeah, Cash is even a map where I think Simple could be doing a lot of damage with the AWP. So yeah. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe just Nitro taking too much.
Well, now they get to flip over to CT side, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And so he can kind of post up and try and play those different positions, try and be difficult to predict. He can go into B halls, go into A main, get those kinds of aggressive A main peaks with the op, or challenge a mid. I mean, there's a lot of options for Simple if obviously Liquid are giving him that kind of freedom on their CT side. Yeah. Because some teams, you know, they're a bit more predictable as far as where the op is going to go. Op, you go here. Skadoodle comes to mind. You know, you go here, be the turret, sit there, and wait for somebody to walk into your crosshairs.
I mean, what I'm more surprised about, you know, Nitro, I think, you could predict that Nitro would have been sort of a very good player in this particular game. He's not always, but he's been pretty consistent on LAN as well. Adren still, it really shocks me. Like that quad kill with the bomb planted, that was incredible. And that sort of stuff, I mean, that's got to throw Faze off as well, because I think they know as well.
What, the fact that it's like Adren that's wrecking them?
Of course it will be. I mean, you know that's the player you're supposed to be winning the 1v1 against, you know?
Yeah.
Like, if
it's
it's
should
Hiko
be for
left,
free, right? It should be
if
for
it's
free.
Hiko or Nitro left, you think, all right, you know, maybe, but if it's Adren, you think we've probably got this.
He's had 2 key clutches.
Yeah?
Like 2 big clutches, the one versus Michael and the one versus Rain. I mean, Adren, it's fantastic.
It is.
The fact that he is what, a stand-in in this tournament essentially?
Yeah.
As well. I mean, that's gotta. There might be some questions for Liquid after this. You know, wait, Adren, what do we do? He was our MVP, nearly.
Maybe it just.
Or are we getting
them,
ahead of ourselves here? I mean, it's only one map.
Yeah, and I think we definitely can't sort of underestimate just how good Kuster is. So if you had to sort of if you match those two up again, it's a very easy choice for me to say Kuster should be on the lineup. But it gives them more options, and maybe this will give Adren some more hunger to actually sort of get back in this game a little bit
or
more.
like a chance to redeem himself, perhaps. Might be the main thing. You know, if you go out strong, then.
Well, maybe you don't go out at all.
change
Maybe
might
you end
actually
up,
happen.
you know, being the best coach of all time somewhere else. Who knows?
Boom.
Adren randomly clicking through the smoke and not really coming up with anything, and they're going to try and rush up behind it. Elige, Nitro going down. Strong start coming out of FaZe Clan, and it's Jacob to follow up and take down Adren. Simple clicking away from the truck, but not really being given many opportunities here, and also running out of health, essentially. So this is looking like a fantastic start here. Finally, something happening for FaZe.
Yeah, Hiko's there. He's got his back. Oh, and there's the headshot from Hiko. Takes out Rain to start. They don't have the kit picked up. Hiko does have that incendiary, so he's going to use it on Quad, try and force that man out into the open, but then there's two of them challenging, and they play it perfectly, Faze. They decide to step out there. Sure, okay, you're going to incendiary us, but we're not going to leave that man to roast alive. We're not going to leave him alone to die. They peek out together and take the fight straight up with Hiko, so Hiko kind of gets caught by his own trap there. But that's the kind of explosive round that you need to have from Faze, where it's just like, okay, that's it. We got to throw. We're so far behind. We have to throw caution to the wind and really just hope for something big to happen. Go charging through the smoke and just challenge. I mean, that was a big play in the pistol.
And now look at this fun stuff coming out of Liquid. I hope this is what it looks like. Because they bought 3 HE grenades and really not much else. You got to wonder if they're going to try and see if they could just explode someone. And all the HEs are heading over to the A bomb side. So, you know, if it ends up being an A hit where 3 or 4 people run through main, that could just be what they're looking for here. Elish is taking a peek into A main and he's realized no one is there. But 3 HE grenades, I mean, it could be enough to do some significant damage, and it's such a minimal investment.
Oh, yeah.
I like this idea.
Oh yeah, and I mean, B Hall's kind of constricted in there as well. You know, if you try and charge in, if you go for that B rush, the HEs could do big damage. But A, same thing. If they come through A main grouped up, it can get nasty real fast. A lot of shrapnel flying through the air, and the pistols backing them up. I mean, they have invested in the P250s.
Faze, they're actually making their way.
It's looking like it.
3HE is still alive here. They need someone to spot it early on. They need someone to know when to throw it in. It's going to be the smoke to signal early on. Are they going to go for it? Hiko certainly set up for it. There comes the... Oh, they run right into it. They got carpet bomb running into the A-bomb site. Ace, going to get 1 kill here. And Hiko goes down. And actually, the P90s are going to make it back. But look how low they all are. Only Jacob with any kind of health. One more grenade or any kind of pistol damage here, and this round would have evaporated for Faze, but they look to be making it out. Adren not able to get the last shot in there. What a round.
It was the most ineffective round, HE ever.
This is ridiculous.
Like, he dunks the nade, like a perfect Kobe dunk straight on him.
They have a combined, 27 health or something like that between them, between
the
4 players.
They literally can't get a kill. They can't capitalize on it, Liquid. How do you not capitalize on that?
Absolutely ridiculous.
Well, that's unfortunate. Simple's just scratching his head going, well, this sucks. 1v5, not a whole lot of hope for him to be able to get anything done here. Instead, he elects to hold on to his Deagle and Kevlar for the next round. But checking the demo later, Hiko's going to facepalm and just be like, how did we not do more with this round? Look at this.
This is beautiful.
All the nades, boom, right on top of him.
Absolutely beautiful. And then what's so shocking as well, the first guy around the corner there is Fox, who's the only one from the initial engagement that has any health left. If it had been any one of the other 3 players coming around, then Hiko could have killed all 3 with the pistol, no problem. Wow. So that nearly works out. It's still a good idea, but FaZe, they're going to stay alive here. They're at 12-5, so they've got a long way to come back into this game, but they should have a bit of an easier time now.
And I like to see this as well. They go for the anti-boost here, exactly the anti-rush mid kind of strategy from Michael getting up on Bread in Garage, just waiting to see if anybody's going to come around.
But Liquid do have another sort of trick up their sleeve here. They got Hiko with a bit of a pop flash, and he actually just puts it into main right now. They're going to go run in and check. He has got 1 more, so again, it's such an easy investment for them to make. See if it's going to pay off.
Now because they actually got that info to play off of, they decided to rotate Hiko back towards B, and that is the correct choice to make, seeing as how FaZe are rotating that bomb back into Halls. They are going to be able to split through, and they just go charging in. Jacob takes the fight straight up with Simple, wins it, hands down. And now Hiko, well, he just gets caught out in the open. There was no happy ending to that story, Anders. But this is just pistols here. Nice little dunk nade onto Adren as well. He takes a smattering of damage there. But this is going according to plan. This is what we expect to see out of FaZe.
Yeah.
Anti-eco situation. You're running into pistols. You should be mauling them. They should not be getting kills. And as I say that, Elise finds that with a USP, not even a P250. Gets a kill straight up, finds the headshot on AZ.
Well, Elise trying to do a bit more. And the UMP is going to come out on top. Adren in the corner, and it's so difficult with the aim punch and everything else. You just can't really be expected to get a kill like that. So 12-6, and still a very, very long way to go. AZ and Reno tied for score right now, both at 14 kills.
Yeah, that's a big turnaround from AZ. He was taking a little flack at the beginning of this match, saying that we haven't really seen that level out of him. And it's the truth. We really haven't seen him, topping the scoreboard. Not like at the last major where he was just dominating when he was on Dignitas. I mean, taking on everybody and dropping 30 bombs. It feels like it's been a while since we've seen that kind of level from the young star from Denmark. So the fact that, he's up there, that's definitely going to be a bit of a feel-good moment there for FaZe. Now we just need to see Jacob. We need to see the Norwegian step up.
Well, say Norwegians, and immediately one gets shot by Simple, so that's not really the best start to around
Did I
here.
curse him?
You probably did, and it's Rain as well, so one of their top fraggers, and that's not ideal. But Liquid, they just need to put together 4 rounds on this second half, and that really should be a thing. And look at this win percentage after first death here for Liquid. It's 71%.
Oh,
Still pretty impressive.
he gets the shot on the Jacob as well. Adren manages to get the tag. Jacob actually survives with 15 HP somehow. That's one of Jacob's favorite spots as well. So that's Adren. He's playing off of that. Adren, or rather, Jacob loves to get up onto the boost and just look under the lip of the roof as it comes around. One of his favorite spots to play in there. So that could be Adren trying to play off of that and actually, you know, find that early advantage, get those mind games going.
Well, Molotov in the back line there. Nitro finding life a bit difficult, and he's going to go down a Fox that looked like a bit of a failed spray. He looked like he had plenty of time to get that kill, but just hesitating a bit, and maybe just because he was walking out of the fire as well. Simple, looking to cover the B bomb site, and there's a kill. He's going to go and challenge again because he's got a reputation to maintain. It is Simple after all. He runs running through the smoke, misses the first shot, gets one more shot, but he can't get it. Michaelele going to end up taking him down, and that leaves him in a 3-on-3. Grenade going to rain in. That's a good one. What a dunk on Michaelele.
What? How did it literally do no damage?
I think it did 40, didn't it?
Did it?
So, yeah, it did 40.
That looked like that should have been like, you know, the 60 damage nade, like just straight on. Oh
looked-
well.
it definitely did.
Sometimes the nades, you know, you're just like, it's gonna be so sick, and then it's like, dink, doesn't do anything.
Now, how do they go for the retake? They certainly have the health. Fox is kind of low as well, but they don't. Or they have one diffuse kid on Elysian, so he's going to need to stay alive, and he goes down to Mike Gilles, so not the best start for them. Edrin going to pick up the 1 kill here, and now he's in a 1-on-2. Is he really going to continue? He's almost out of time, so it'd be a bit suicidal to go for it, and that's not going to be the case. He ends up making his way out, and Faze closing the gap slowly and bringing it to a 7-12 scoreline. Still a very long way to go, and Adren at least saves the most important rifle. That's something.
Yeah, they have that, and I mean, it isn't going to be a force buy coming out of Liquid, or it shouldn't be. I mean, not everybody can be Envy. Yeah, I like that Adren is just going to invest a little bit in utility, perhaps try and help his teammates out, and then it's just going to be CZ75s picked up for the rest of Team Liquid. Simple might be trying to manage his funds right now. He's sitting on 3150 right now, so if he decides to spend money on a pistol, he might not be able to just go for that full buy in the next one. Or Adren just drops him the AWP and he actually doesn't worry about it. Could be that as well. But let's see if they're actually going to be able to achieve anything here, Liquid, because right now it is Faze just taking their time. Straight default play from them again. Far back, making sure that they can't get pushed down, can't get rushed down anywhere on the map by Liquid.
Liquid, on the other hand, they've got a strong setup at A, and I think they have a smoke on Nitro there to make sure that if there is a fight going on, if Adren gets the first shot here, then they can smoke it up and sort of make their escape, and there's a great start. AZ going down, wallbang, almost connecting. That's so scary. He's going to try again, another shot going through, and if he had hit even one of them, that would have been incredible. They're just waiting right now. The smoke comes up. I mean, it's still very early. There's more than a minute left. I sort of wish they would have saved that smoke to try and stagger the push that was going to come in from Faze to make sure that once the push happens, they sort of have to weirdly run through a smoke they maybe wouldn't expect. Mid-control from Rain, and Liquid trying to see if they can make this round work. Elige up on the railing looking for the shot. He's going to get the one in there, but Fox and Rain with a good kill each in return, and it's going to be down to Adren here. 1-on-3, and he's in a very tough position.
Yeah, and Rain actually decides he doesn't want to have anything to do with it. Could have swore actually that Rain would try and go for the backstab on Adren, try and catch him out, but instead Rain's the one who's backing off. He's just going to draw him out into the open, goes for the spray and actually misses it. So that's not something we see every day. Rain usually very consistent with those kinds of shots. So Adren gets a second chance at life. 31 HP left on him, and now he has to worry about his flank, and Rain's already changed it up. Nice little peekaboo moment there for Rain. Rips Adren's head off, saves the AWP if he likes. Yeah, he can actually go ahead and pass that over to Fox. So very nice round coming in here. And Faze, I mean, they're doing it, Anders. It's the exact same thing that happened to them in the first half. Faze, they get control of the map right off the bat with a pistol. Then they continue to control Team Liquid's economy by winning these rounds. Now all that's necessary is for them to just lose one round here. Within the next couple of rounds, if they lose a round to Team Liquid and then win the next one, Liquid will get hard reset. It could happen. Like we could have like mirroring halves, you know, developing here.
Also, somewhat of a replay of the NIP and Flipside game. You know, where the second half on the CT side suddenly turns out to be a big problem for the leading team. Now, Jacob and Rain are setting up for what looks like a double smoke into middle. And that means, yeah, you see, Adrenaline can't really see a thing, and that means a lot of mid-control for Faze. So how are Liquid going to respond to it? They still just have Adrenaline here, and the position he has is really scary. If they sneak close to that box, he's at most going to trade a kill and then probably go down. So I'm glad that he falls back into the A-bomb site.
Now playing it a little bit safer here. Adren, wow, he just goes for the straight peek. That little boost spot looking into short. Not going to find anybody, but still that's some information gained. And Nitro now trying to set it up with the flash. A bit of a delay here on the execute coming in from Faze, but they are going to collapse on it. They've got Rain playing on short, waiting for that rotator, but then gets that peek. 1-for-1 trade going onto the site. Nitro will get overwhelmed, though. Double entry kill coming in from Michael, but Adren, he just wins the duel straight up from Fox.
That's a big kill coming through. Hiko going down on highways, not good though, and Simple can't even follow it up. Rain just can't be stopped. He gets a double, and it will be Jacob to follow up and close out the round for a 9-12 finish. Now, I did say that I was glad that Adren sort of fell away from that position. What I'm not happy about is Liquid overall giving up entire mid control, because that was the key to Faze just making that work. Once they have highway control, that A-bomb site is so vulnerable. And you can see the Liquid members that were in the A-bomb site, they didn't know where to stand. They had just a couple of pixels to stand on. And if they sort of walk out and look anywhere, they're going to get caught from one angle or the other. So that was a bit weird. 22nd round is coming up, and it's back to pistols for Liquid here. And honestly, this game now, it's turning into quite an interesting one.
Yeah, now it's much closer. Now it's possible for Faze to run it back. They managed to close that gap enough where, this could have, even if it was one, it could have been, Team Liquid, it could have ended 9-6 and Liquid won, the first, the pistol. They got the 3 rounds, but now Faze, they're back into it. Now we're starting to see, a very even match between these two teams.
But Liquid haven't won a round in the second half yet.
Yeah, that's what's crazy.
It's just been all Faze Clan here, 6 rounds in a row.
And they're starting to get fired up. When you're talking about players like, the quality of Jacob, of Rain, individual stars, if they get fired up, if they start feeling it, I'm not sure that Liquid, have that straight firepower apart from Hiko and Simple really to be able to go toe-to-toe with these monsters.
Early trade. Michael showing himself not afraid to continue the fight in the middle. A bit questionable in my opinion. I'd be scared to lose another member there, but they get them in control. And an execute right now towards B would definitely be fatal to Liquid. There's no way Hiko's going to be able to hold on here with just a P250 at the corner. He could do some damage because they're going to be within headshot range, but they should be able to zone him out and check every single angle, and a little bit of damage being put into Rain. It will definitely be around for Faze here.
Yeah, this should be very clear cut. Nitro going to fall on that flank. Simple, he does get the tag, but not the kill, and Fox is going to be able to pick him off, and it comes down to Adren now, hoping to get something done, but Fox just continues to land frag after frag. 3 kills for him in this anti-eco round, brings him into double digits now, puts him up onto 13.
How did Fox get that second kill?
Wasn't that the upper one?
Yeah, but he must have just been in main. It just looked like at the end, just when I looked, it looked like he was really far back.
B-Halls is when Nitro was going for the flank. And Fox was like way in the back watching B-Halls.
Yeah, but the second kill he got that was on the guy on upper, wasn't it?
I think that was the 3rd kill. He probably got the entry kill. That was what put him up onto the 3.
He killed the guy on upper anyway, and I don't know how he got out right. It just looked like he was further back than he should have been. I was wondering if he sort of walled back, because you can actually shoot through the top of the...
Oh, I see where you're going with this.
That would have been mad. We'll go back and watch them at some point. Either way, it's the 23rd round here, and the gap has closed so far. It's 2 rounds separating these two teams. And a very, very slow start here for Faze. Not really taking any risks, and neither are Liquid. And we were bringing this up when Faze were on the CT side. Where are the risks coming into it? They tried when they only had pistols. They went for the triple grenade. They went for the flashes going into main. Now that they have rifles, they don't want any of that stuff, and maybe they should. Show us some creativity here.
We're not getting too much of it right now. In fact, it is a bit more of a focus on mid, obviously, seeing as how Adren has been pushed all the way up. So he will have Nitro there to draw attention to himself on Sugar Cube, on short, and then, hopefully they'll be able to peek out together and actually achieve something here as the B-split smokes come out. Michael with a little flash. Adren not going to buy it. Easy kill there for Hiko up in vents, though. Adren hasn't even shown himself, so this is interesting. Michael, he doesn't have that info. All he knows is that somebody was up in vents and that he got pasted. How many people are in mid, though? He isn't able to communicate that to his team.
And that's going to be a problem. These 2 people on highway are going to be so important when the A push comes through. Rain trying to see if he can make it out of Squeak. They're all going to be pushing through main. The rest of the Faze team here. Jacob already securing and clearing out the forklift, but can they actually make their way in? Elish and Adren are putting a hard stop to this push. Fox going to miss the kill, and Elish coming up with a really good double. Jacob all alone, and he goes down. It's a flawless round here for the American side, and that's going to make it 13-10.
And here's where I say, Anders, but this is all according to plan.
You think they're going to reset them?
This is where it's all according to plan. I mean, obviously, if it was going to work out a bit better, they, it should have been a close, kind of 1v1 sort of duel situation where Team Liquid really just weren't going to have, any much money to buy with. They would use up everything, no bank whatsoever. Instead, with nearly everybody surviving that round, they actually have a fairly decent economy, Liquid. But yeah, the reset right now would be brutal for them. That would basically launch Faze, up into a tie situation.
The group stage so far of this major has been pretty explosive. All the games seems to have been very close, even the ones you thought maybe they wouldn't be. This is a fairly good start to the MLG CSGO major now. 24th round coming up, and Liquid still not taking any big risks, but they were rewarded really heavily with this setup, and they're replicating it in this round again. They've got Hiko up there, they've got Adrenaline. It wasn't spotted, as you said. They didn't even know Adrenaline was there, so why not do it again?
Exactly. Same kind of scenario, but this time around, Faze, they aren't going to waste much time. It's a straight flash and a push onto the A site. The smokes go down, and they're just changing up the pace. They're like, we aren't even going to bother with mid. We're just going to go cascading onto this site. 1-for-1 trade, but Nitro, he gets the double kill, and Nitro's still alive. He can keep doing the damage with the Molotov going down. He can walk straight up, and he gets another kill, a third one for him.
What a big round there. Excellent timing. Now 3 versus 2 retake. This is very, very doable. Hiko walking up from behind as well. Fox is fully exposed. Hiko going to get the one shot in. Fox now with his back turned. He gets a kill. He's in a 1-on-2, and he's almost in an impossible situation. Just sandwiched between Adren and Hiko, and they play it very well indeed. So there's going to be the round 14-10. They weren't quite reset, but it was an expensive round. They did lose 3 players, and that's what FaZe have to focus on right now. They got to keep the pressure on. It's almost 13,000 in the bank for Mikelele, so it's going to be a while before FaZe sort of get ecoed themselves, but they're out of rounds to play with here. They got their backs against the wall.
Exactly. There's no ground to give. Team Liquid, they're going to be up on match point. But that couldn't have worked out better. I'm just replaying it in my mind right now, how it works for Nitro. The fact that the smokes are still down, the other guy's on forklift, but then the smoke blocking off Squeak Door still up, and I believe it was Mikelele still standing behind it. So he could have just had it. He just had a series of duels in the end, one duel after another. That's not what you want to give to Nitro. You need to be facing him with 2 and trading 1-for-1 effectively.
Yeah, and initially the Molotov was keeping Nitro from engaging, but it was just timed well enough that he could get the kill even as the bomb went down. So very, very good round coming out of Nitro, as it's been, it seems, all map long. AZ, I think, might be setting up for a Molotov that goes into the vents to clear that out. Hiko's been holding that for a while, but not in this particular round, so it's still going to give them mid-control. It's not, it's not pointless, but we'll see what they do with it once they have it.
Let's see. I mean, now they're going through the motions. Now FaZe just getting those nades out there to get some mid-control. Make sure that Hiko can't be playing up in vents, which is a good thing considering they've noticed that he has been going for that kind of hold in the past couple of rounds. But now it comes down to whether FaZe, are they just going to focus on mid? And it does look like it. Instead, they're trying to change things up here, become a little less predictable. They've been hitting that A site quite a bit through A main, and now they decide to put the pressure on short, and they're going to get that peak. But again, Simple, he was going for the hop, and he actually managed to spot them out. So some early information gained here for Liquid. They try and turn it around onto FaZe with the flash into main, but Rain is there to just shut that down. Nothing coming from it, and Nitro gets caught out in the open.
Oh, Simple in a very bad position there on the electric box. Just too many people coming out highway, and Adren, Hiko left. It's going to be a 2-on-3 now. Do they want to risk it and go for the retake here? They have some rounds to play with. They could save the rifles here and just bank on winning one of the next rounds. And I think that they're hoping right now that FaZe make a mistake and that they can get a sort of an early kill in here. If they can't, I don't see them sort of committing to this.
If they save the 2, they get a bye in the next round for sure. Like if they can save 2 rifles here, it would work out. They would be able to juggle enough, but it seems like they just don't want to give any quarter, Anders. They want to try and make this happen. And there's Adren to find Rain, who peeked from quad. Smoke goes down, but that's not going to matter. Fox hits the shot onto Hiko, and Adren, he just goes charging in. Are they going to be able to land the shot? He's got 93 HP. It's ticking down. 1 second, and he's not going to get it. Just not enough time. He'd have had the defuse. He'd have had the defuse a split second more.
That is monstrous. I mean, with the new bomb timer and everything, I thought for a second that was going to happen. And
he gets to the 1 second mark.
They obviously couldn't find the angle to kill him either. That's heartbreaking. I thought for sure when they had waited the first 10 seconds of that bomb timer, I thought they're not going to go for it, because I think what they were just hoping for was someone making a mistake, and FaZe really didn't up until the end there. 11 to 14, and Liquid going to buy in spite of not having all the rifles here. They're just going to go for it anyway. A little bit scary. Fox showing the top of his head here, and that is potentially lethal. He makes it out, but gets dropped down to 50 health.
Ooh, I like these nades. Dren just letting him know. He's like, yeah, I'm holding close. You're going to have to worry about me a little bit here. They're just taking damage all over the place. AZ getting roasted down to 29.
It, by the way, was a very, very good idea for Liquid in the last round. As soon as they realized, okay, we've lost mid-control, to flash into main. That's a very good response to losing mid-control. It didn't work out, but that's sort of beside the point. It's still sort of the theory of it. It's, okay, we'll lose a little bit here, then we'll take something back somewhere else. And I appreciate the sort of the swiftness with which they made that call. They made it instantly, so really good job.
Well, it seems like they've had enough of A-site phase. They're starting to rotate over towards B. They're going to try and change things up here. And Simple, he's gonna be like, sweet. Finally, I'm going to get to see someone over here on this side of the map. Finally, I get a chance to shine a little bit.
Yeah, and it's the one round where I have a 5-7. So thanks. That's a bit brutal, isn't it? He's going to rely on Hiko here, and a pop flash coming in, and that was set up by Simple. So all you need, $200 investment. Second one coming in and allowing Hiko to peek again. It's going to be a Dren in the middle. Nitro going down. Hiko getting one more kill before he gets shut down. They must know there's a guy in here because they've seen the pop flashes. They should be aware that that Simple is still on the site, but it's a 2-on-3 right now as they're trying to make the win. They're actually sandwiched in. There's a triangle of Liquid members all around the remaining here, and now just Jacob left trying to escape through the smoke. He makes it out. He's got the bomb, but there's no chance, and Simple comes charging through with that 5-7. That's going to make it match and map point here. Liquid at 15 rounds, and Faze, they really don't have that much money. This is going to be a horrible way to play the 27th round.
And it's super sick to see Simple as well. Like there's a time when Simple would have just charged in to take the fight, like overstepped and gone out and allowed Faze to get up onto that bomb site to get the bomb plant. But instead, he played it so patiently. Once Hiko had done his bit and died, Simple, instead of charging out there to get the revenge, he just stays put. He just stays put and keeps buying more time for the rotation to come in for his teammates. That's an evolution in his level of play that we've all been waiting to see. It only makes him a more complete player. So very good to see, from Simple. Great decision making on his part, and that puts Team Liquid up onto match point now, 15-11, and the big push coming out here from Faze. The last gasp. They need this round.
Bit of a mad choice from Nitro to think that he could get that Molotov off, but he does get punished for it as well. It's a good double kill coming in from Elige, though, and it's not done yet. Rain gonna take down a Dren. It's all up to Michael and Fox here. 2-on-3. They need this round. They have to have it, otherwise they're gonna be down on map early on in the group stage here, and nobody wants that, especially not in this group. It's gonna be scary if they can't make this work. Fox and Michael, they don't have a bomb plant yet. Fox has got a great position, though, to try and get this first kill in, and if he does, should definitely be possible, but that bomb, it's out in the open. How are they going to retrieve it without losing someone?
That's the question that they're asking themselves, and Fox, he's just crossing his fingers and hoping. This is all a waiting game. This is a game of chicken. Who's going to crack first and take that extended peek? And Elige, he's doing a very good job right now of just focusing on A main. Let's see if he actually gets that peek, and yep, him playing it so safely. Fox never had a chance. Well, now it's on Michael, who's only got the 8 HP in a 1v2. Hiko up on short. Elige holding passively now, and he just walks right into his crosshairs. Liquid will be picking up the first win for the North America here.
Yeah, what an upset, and what a fantastic performance here from everybody on Liquid. It seems nobody really underperforming. Adren there, yeah, some high fives are definitely in order. Pulling much more than his weight in a game that I think everyone had sort of counted him out of almost before we even got into it. Yeah,
no doubt about it. He really would be. I mean, he was the guy taking a whole lot of flack at the beginning of this. Over the past several months, he's been heavily criticized to the point where, the Liquid finally decided to make the play to remove him, to change up the roster, to bring in somebody new. But because of the way the major works, etc., he had to actually stay here and play. Yeah. It's just good to see, that he's not. Maybe he's not underperforming. This lack of pressure on him is allowing him to hit that new level and really go toe to toe.
You got to wonder if there's sort of a pattern showing up him, and maybe the fact that he was removed was sort of a wake up call. That actually, because you remember Sip on Astralis,
there it is.
Was sort of they didn't actually remove him, but they sort of halfway threatened and said, look, if you don't step it up. And I would say probably now Sipnix is the best player on Astralis. So, maybe the players can get a little bit too complacent, and when you sort of bring out the whip and start going at it, then stuff happens.
Do you stand by that with me, Anders? Because, we just tilted, just tilted Thorin so hard by saying that Sipnix is the best player on Astralis.
Yeah, okay, so I don't think Sipnix has the highest peak level.
He's backpedaling.
I think there are other players. No. I think there are other players who have a higher peak than Sipnix, but I think right now he is playing at a higher level than anybody on that team, yes.
Boom. And on that note, on that note, I do believe
Yeah.
we are ready for our interview with the Dren. So we'll hand it over to Chris.
Thank you, fellas, down here on the floor with Adrena. Adrena, we didn't get a chance to talk on camera at the last event, but at the qualifier, you weren't on Liquid officially, but you were playing with the squad to help get them here at the major. What's it like right now playing with the squad as well as your second team, TSM?
It feels great. Honestly, I feel at home right now. I'm just filling in. Actually, T-sides I'm not opping, so I'm doing a little bit of like a peripheral role where I'm holding flanks, doing like support roles. So I feel really comfortable in that, and I'm glad I can help the team out with like anything I can do for them.
What's practice been like? I know last time you guys were here, Nitro was making the play calls. How often are you playing with the team, and who's making the calls here today?
I started playing with Liquid. I think we only practiced like 3 days together with me. I was playing some matches with TSM, just kind of trying out, seeing if I fit them, if they like me, for example. But yeah, Hiko's making the calls right now. He did a really good job T-side. I helped him out with only like one strat, but he called literally the entire half and did a good job.
Awesome. So you're still chiming in as well, but Hiko is kind of doing most of that work. How do you feel you are playing so far in this tournament? We saw some amazing rounds, including the 4K from you in the first half.
Yeah, I was feeling good. Actually, I started off the pistol round with a TK, and I was like, oh, man, this is good. but it went really well. I mean, I clutched out 2 big rounds, I think, for our economy, and I helped us win on T-side, I guess, yeah.
All right, now talk to me about the group. Of course, this is the first ever major that we're hosting in American soil. We have a few more days before we get the nationwide arena, though, where we'll actually have fans present cheering you guys on. What do you think your chances are now getting out of the group after beating Faze?
I think this just helps our confidence. Even if we lose to Fnatic, we're going to play Faze in a BO3, and I think we have a really good chance of beating them in a BO3. Like, the maps they like are all of our strongest, so it matches up very well for us. I really want to play in the stadium. I think that's going to be an amazing event. I think the fans are going to be crazy, so I'm super hyped to play in the stadium.
Speaking about the fans, what do you have to say to them, everyone who's been cheering you on and spamming NA in the chat?
Yeah, I just thanks for supporting and watching us, guys. I really appreciate it.
All right, guys, that's Adren Liquid with a big win. We'll be moving on in the winners bracket, but we have plenty more games to go. Before we get to Fnatic versus Splice, though, we got to break this series down. Let's send it over to Sir Scoots.
Thank you very much, Chris. Again, Adren, who, again, we've all given a lot of grief to.
Some more than others.
This entire, yeah, some more than others this entire last year. So, again, not even really officially on the team anymore. It comes out like gangbusters. Maybe that's a lack of no pressure on him anymore, and like I don't know, but obviously focal point between him and obviously Nitro to win that one.
Yeah, and interesting behind-the-scenes stuff. I'm sure some of you guys know about this anyway.
Nice hat, by the way.
Yeah. We'll get to that in a second. I've unleashed a monster here, haven't I? That's what he looks like when he's wearing them assless chaps as well when he goes out on a Saturday night. But anyway, so, Adren had offers as a coach, and I think Cloud9 was one of those offers. They've took Irakanji now. Adren said, I still want to play.
Yeah.
So he's in the shop window here, and he's done a great job of showing that he can play. He's also had LASIK, which is why he's not wearing the glasses anymore. So I don't know how much of a factor that is, but hey, he had a great first half here, and it's not the first time we've had to say that,
Any of you guys considering laser?
Who said that?
Exactly.
My eyes are far too bad.
It's one of those things where he just comes back and he doesn't have a lot of pressure on him anymore. He's not trying to fit into any kind of a system because they've already changed that, and they're just coming in saying, this is where you are this round, just play it however you want. You don't have to fit into what we've been working on with Kusta, just play your game. No expectations of what he's going to be able to bring to the table because he's already been so low when he was actually on the team. But he actually has so many impact rounds, so many clutches, and it buys time because Nitro had a slow start. Some of these players had slow starts into this game, and he buys them time with these clutches to get back into it. So it was really nice stuff out of Adrenaline.
And historically, of course, he was in Team Dynamic, the Counter-Strike Source team, which were one of the ones that actually came over and could compete with Very Games and did do it at a few events. So it's not like he hasn't been in good teams before. I know, obviously, Duncan will be a little bit disparaging about that component of Counter-Strike history, but they were a very, very good team, and of course we reckon with as Europeans found out.
All right, so you're just shaking your head and smirking, so I got to know what you're thinking right now.
I didn't have any great burn or anything.
Oh,
No,
I thought you had some.
No, the thing is that historically as well, the key thing about Adren is it's not just like LAN performances in general that's been bad. The majors have been particularly bad as well because he's the guy where, unlike other members of his team where when he's left they've gone on to success, he's the guy where every major he's gone out in the group stage. some majors he hasn't even qualified for. So if he can get out of the group stage here, this would be the only time in his career, actually. So it would be a great revival for him. One last run with Team Liquid, who obviously are kind of out of sorts. It did look here, though, even though we're going to give praise to Adren, give praise to Team Liquid, they were starting to throw this game.
Yes.
I mean, this is a game where they were up 12-3 on the T side. Everything's going great. But what's funny is, I mean, I actually saw someone mention this on Twitter, is that Faze had a game like that online against Mousespot, which was the same thing. They had a 12-3 T-half there. So I'm sure in the back of their minds, they were thinking, right, it's possible, we can do this still. I wonder, actually, in that sense, I mean, I realized Team Liquid was out far ahead, so they probably thought we're going to get some of these rounds and get close. But you have to wonder, did the impact of Roban have some kind of help there? Because obviously their T-side was particularly good. They were able to get a lot done there. And actually, one of the few rounds for Liquid that they couldn't convert at all was that amazing grenade that did about 287 damage or something crazy.
That was unreal.
But they never got a kill in the round, amazingly.
All right, let's take a look at some highlights. The first one's going to be round 4. Hiko doing some killing at the end of this round. Let's take a look at Hiko.
And Hiko had some nice moments as well. You know, it's interesting the way this team's shaping up now. It's not like Hiko is the kind of the star anymore. He's like Mr. Consistent, sits in the middle. And you let Simple, and obviously when Kusta beds in the team, you're going to let Kusta run away with it. But Hiko's so good in those situations. He's almost like the American Get Right. Now, that's obviously a bit of hyperbole. We won't go overboard. Okay. But when he's in a 1v2, Hiko, his clutch play is right up there with some of the best that NA have produced. And Faze made it a little bit easy for him there, coming at the sides. But that's the worst position to be in when you try and pincer it at the same time. You're better off doubling up on one side in that situation. Because if you don't peak at exactly the same time, you lose the round more often than not.
Well, it's also why we talked at the qualifiers. Why did they even experiment with Nitro? Because Hiko, with how passive he plays, it's perfect for him to just sit back, play his passive lurk style, make the calls, and then just be alive for the clutch rounds. That's when he excels. And that's essentially what his role in that team was, even when he's not calling. So it is good to see him playing in that role. Obviously, a very effective clutcher. But it is good to see him at that level. One thing I like about this match, it was actually Simple, I think, didn't really have too much of an impact.
Didn't have to. And he didn't rage either when he wasn't.
Right. But this is the thing. When you keep having matches where Liquid's winning without Simple having that impact, it teaches him that he can trust his teammates.
Yeah.
And that's what you need. Yeah, you absolutely need that.
We got another highlight. This one's going to be round 9. Again, this is an Adren clutch. So let's take a look at that one. Yes,
I think I remember this one as well. This was like... Yeah. This is when I think Makalela comes through tunnel. So Adren here, he plays this perfect, just waits, gets the guy from tunnel, and obviously Rain's picked this up. Now I actually think Rain whiffs this a little bit because he goes in a defuse. If he sticks this and throws this flash, he's going to get that.
Well,
his aim was off.
The actual play he made there, I did like the thought behind it. Yeah. If he'd have waited like a second more, the guy's going to be looking at the bomb anyway to see where you are. So the flash would actually go off and blind. You can see kind of the thinking there. He obviously is a very intelligent, creative player in clutch rounds, but that was kind of the story for Faze there. They didn't get any of the clutch rounds they needed to. They were in a bunch of situations where they had chances, but Team Liquid got a lot of the early rounds, and then they had so much of a cushion that even this monster comeback in the end didn't amount to anything.
Yeah.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, you can see kind of this trend with these big T sides. One of the issues that FaZe has, there's a lot of individual stars on this team, and it almost seems like they don't know which one to defer to, which one to allow to be that individual playmaker, and which ones need to be a little bit more passive to back up those kind of plays. And that's kind of why you see the T-Halves have a little bit more success. They're not really sure. Even Liquid on their CT side, North Americans very, very, well known for that individual style. Yep. Not sure how to kind of make the teamwork work on the defense.
And obviously we might see this matchup again. So that's the thing. This might be a preview for maybe a possible second, third best of 3 at some point later in the week.
We have one more highlight, and this is Hiko and a nade in round 17. Is this the nade you guys are
I think this is what they call an orc nade, if anyone ever played
they have 3 nades, so it's a
Warcraft mod, right? This is unbelievable. Like, just look at that, and then just boom, right down so low. And as Duncan says, they couldn't even convert this round.
They didn't get a single kill on them.
Yeah, if they do, because it came down to Simple in a 1v5 with a Deagle. Now, if they convert that round, this scoreline is out the park. It makes FaZe look like amateurs.
Yeah. It comes down to that one kill. We didn't get to see it in that replay, but Hiko defending with the P250, that first player from FaZe who jumps in, gets like 2 entry kills. If Hiko takes him out, that round is just automatically over because everyone else is 1 bullet away. But incredible strategy, almost pays off for him.
It's like I said, actually, coming to this match, like that whole hype around, all they've done in this team of King Win and then G2 and then FaZe is stack all the aimers together. It's not a whole lot of aimers in that team anymore. Like Fox obviously has always struggled to some degree, but he's particularly poor here. Jacob actually never got going in the game whatsoever. AZ
No.
was much improved. He actually gave a good accounting for himself, but there's not a lot of firepower at the moment from the Faze side of things.
It's crazy how much has changed from major to major, because when they were back at G2, you know, in inclusion of poker, we were talking about them, had these amazing games, Makalele clutching rounds left, right, and center.
third place
but
finish,
Jacob was one of the breakout performers there. Then when they added AZ, we were like, well, this is just insane. This is going to be like an all-star team. And even Fox was making contributions to that roster. Now, when you look at it, I went through some of the numbers just there while I was watching it. So it's 22 maps since they joined FaZe with only 5 wins. So that statistic's getting even worse. They're entering into Virtus Pro territory of late. And look, I don't want to single anyone out, but just as an interesting aside, Fox, who's, you know, a lot of people were talking about how he does have this merit and people should give him the AWP, and he is going to be a high-impact player. He's had a positive score now 4 times since they've joined FaZe. And that's like, there was a lot of rumors about, you know, maybe that was where the roster change was going to come in. Was an Oscar or somebody like that going to get a chance in this lineup? Now, again, I don't know what's going to happen after the major, but they can't be happy with that. That scoreline could have been a lot worse.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you, gentlemen. We're still working our way through Group B. Next match is going to be the #1 team on the planet, Fnatic, taking on the biggest underdog in the building.
98th best team on the planet.
Huh?
98th best team on the planet.
Far be it from me to say Americans get carried away, but backstage, CLG were going, imagine if Splice beat Fnatic just because Team Liquid had won. Like, come on, lads.
Yeah.
Stay in the realm of
That's
reality.
so unprofessional, dropping LSD backstage.
So anyway, it's going to be Fnatic, obviously, taking on Splice. Loser of that takes on FaZe. Winner of that,
Splice.
obviously, will
Splice, yeah.
will Splice, exactly. We'll take
Splice
on
takes on FaZe, you're right, yeah. Oh, yeah, sorry. Spoilers. Enjoy the episode, guys. Enjoy the episode. Yeah.
See you next week.
Again, you never know.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to be right back
I know.
after this commercial break to start talking about that match.
Assless chat.